A rising tide in Seaside. Few teams in the USL Championship playing as well as Monterey Bay FC, undefeated in their last 5 and coming off the cup set victory against San Jose. However, their opponent tonight, a team that knows them as well as anyone in this league, in the Toros of RGV FC. Happy to have you along, Corey Brooks, alongside the USL's own Corey Herzog. And Corey, as we looked at this table, in some ways exactly what we expected, in others a bit surprising.
Yeah, you're seeing Monterey right there in the 5th place in a big game tonight to hopefully get 3 points to move up the table.
No question about it, trying to get going, as is RGV FC right there at the bottom. And when you look at this Monterey side, it's a team that has just scored with such efficiency. They've found ways to capitalize on those explosive moments and maximize them.
Yeah, and their front four really coming together, gelling together, and assisting and scoring a bunch of goals, and that's the formula to win some games.
On the flip side, for RGV FC, they were able to earn the draw against this Monterey side. It's a veteran group under Coach Wilmer Cabrera. They know how to handle themselves, even when adversity comes to pass.
Yeah, and you can see when they played Monterey last game, they didn't give up. They fought to the 90th minute. Because they're veterans, they came back, got the point that they needed, and hopefully tonight they can get 3.
Both teams with some prolific goal scorers on their side. Anytime you start the year with a hat trick, a lot of things are going right. That's the case for Alex Dixon.
And you can see right there, confidence is just coming off him. You know, when you score a hat trick in your first game and leading goal scorer in the league, you're going to get that confidence, and I think he's going to have one tonight.
We mentioned the draw RGV earned, the guy who did it in stoppage time, Taylor Davila, a couple goals this year, and the important one against Monterey Bay.
Yeah, and he brings that confidence in the midfield for them to be able to control the game and score a goal late in the game to get that point for him.
Still plenty of soccer left to be played, but the early season beginning to take shape. An important one between the Toros and MBFC coming up in a beat right here on ESPN+.
Coastal Roots Hospitality is a proud partner of the Monterey Bay Football Club. Coastal Roots Events and Catering, along with its 3 iconic restaurants, Montrio, Tarpe's, and Rio Grill, invite you to pick it up and pay it forward, where 10% of all proceeds from takeout orders are donated to various local charities. Their catering service and restaurants utilize local farms, butcheries, and ocean fresh sustainability-driven seafood to deliver unique and exemplary dining experiences. For more information, visit coastalrootshospitality.com.
Back we come, MBFC against RGV, an important Western Conference matchup. Monterey Bay trying to keep the good going, and they do so with the return of an incredibly important player. Sam Gliel couldn't go against Indy, but he went against San Jose, played great, He's right at the heart of the attack today for MBFC.
And he's going to be at the heart of the attack. He's a good player. He's a wide player. He's a midfield player. He's going to be able to make those runs around Valesky to open up space for the other three.
Meanwhile, for RGVFC, they continue with more of the same. This is a group that has a majority of returning players for Wilmer Cabrera. That experience does them well.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see Francois get into the game, get a goal early, get his confidence up. I don't think he's had that this year, so hopefully today will show some what he has.
Should be a fun one to watch. Happy to have you along for the ride. 3, 2, and 2 are the Union. 1, 2, and 3 are the Toros of RGVFC. We are underway from Seaside. These two teams meeting up earlier this year. Toros forcing the draw. Historically, this matchup has belonged to the team from the Lone Star State. 2-0-1 is RGVFC against Monterey Bay, the second-year club out of Seaside, CA. Finals of those matchups last year, 2-1 and 4-1. Frank Yallop would tell you, this is a different team for Monterey Bay. Started to find their footing at the end of last season, and that's really carried over to 2023.
Yeah, and you're going to want to see Monterey get into the game quickly here. Try to get RGV on their heels, get them in their own half, try to get a goal early, and really try to get underneath RGV right now.
That's exactly what Coach Yallop said when we spoke with him earlier in the week. He underscored the importance of this, the start of the match. Wanting his side to get up and going early. Trying to indeed move it down the pitch, but a little bit too strong on the gas, and it's the Toros advancing. A look at Wilmer Cabrera, the third-year head man, getting RGVFC to the playoffs. Back-to-back fashion for the first time in club history. First coach ever, now back in stint 2. And looking to make it 3 straight in the postseason. Physical play there, and the foul comes against the Toros. Menacio. This back line for Monterey Bay has played a ton. Every single minute of every single match. They went the full 90 against San Jose as well. They'll be tested right away. Played up, and the answer for Monterey Bay and Kai Green.
And when you can have a back four that always plays together, build those relationships, it's just going to lead to success. As you can see, each player covering each other and just understanding their relationships on the field.
Kai Green, one of a few players on this Monterey Bay FC side that played for RGVFC. That's where Kai started his career. 68 matches played down in the Rio Grande Valley. About a third of this Monterey Bay roster, at one time or another, were Toros. Foul, and early on, balance of possession in this final third belonging to the visitors.
And if you're Monterey, you don't want to give away those silly fouls, because when you come on the road, you're looking for set pieces. You're looking to build off a cheap goal that maybe you can get in the first 5 minutes off a set play.
Jose Francisco Torres, the initiator on the free kick. Sent in, early answer defensively for MBFC, and the follow-up header touch, not exactly what RGV was looking for. That's the type of play that this Monterey Bay side has thrived on, an explosive attack. That's capitalized at a rate better than anybody in this league. 36% is the conversion rate. Shots to goals for the Union. That is a number that is far and away in front. 7-game sample. Small enough that a few games can impact it, but big enough that it starts to matter. Misplay there. Tomas Ritondale just a little bit out in front. The 20-year-old getting the opening nod for the Toros and Wilmer Cabrera. One of a couple guys on the pitch, came in a preseason trial. Well defended. Akwe saving the day.
If Valesky picks up his head there, maybe he can chip the keeper from 30 yards out. Keeper was scrambling back, had a chance. Unfortunate, didn't get that first touch that he wanted.
Ritondale has been busy for RGVFC. He's holding down that left wing. Akwe briefly up from the back. Toros hold at the entrance to the final third. Looking to challenge Siaha for the first time. Tyler Derrick versus Anthony Siaha. Little heavy on the touch and flag up offside. Numbers for the goaltenders in this one for Siaha, 1-2-1 record. A little over 300 minutes played, 4 matches started. Goals against average of 1.75 on 13 saves. For Tyler Derrick, he's played them all. 6 appearances, record matches his teams 1, 2, and 3. Goals against average 1.33 and a 73% save percentage.
And like I said in other Monterey games, Siaha is one of my favorite keepers to watch in the USL. He's big, he's smart, he makes some unbelievable saves when I was playing with him in San Diego. He deserves to start right tonight, and hopefully he can keep that shutout.
He was one of the primary architects of that huge run for MBFC last year, trying to get the explosion going, a little bit out of reach for Valesky. Toros trying to play the long ball. Not so against that back four. Union faithful being treated to their second straight home match. The opportunities in Seaside continue to grow. They host San Jose and they'll host again. LAFC in the round of 32. The California rivalry, NorCal v SoCal, and a huge one with one of the best clubs anywhere in America.
This might be a chance for RGV. Up a man, Chase Boone coming off with a little injury there. It's a good time for maybe RGV to get the pressure on with a man up.
Not an unfamiliar situation. Monterey Bay taking a red card in that first matchup. That was part of what powered that comeback run through. Brilliant. Ori Honor getting the job done. Donor continuing to play really well for MBFC. Donor the one instigating the attack. Square there halted the progress, but still a chance here for MBFC. Donor playing right wing and just swarm, nothing but red kits around it. Counterattack here for the Toros. Francois out in front, leaves behind, nearly a miscommunication, but still a chance. Chase Boone back on the pitch, but still looking to settle in. Toro shot blocked.
See the frustration with the outside backs not getting to the wingers, RGV's wingers quick enough. They're having a lot of time on the outside. So RGV's playing well, getting the ball out wide. Monterey just needs to switch it up and get out there quicker.
Neither team a genuine scoring chance in these first 9 minutes. The balance of power still favoring the Toros early on. Ooh, a huge collision. Both teams arguing the other is at fault. Donor goes hard into Torres.
I think Donor's expecting Torres to go up. into that challenge hard, but they both come out. And then I think it might be a foul on Dona. Oh.
One more look at it right here, and whoosh. That's Torres face first, basically into Maury's elbow. So the foul will wind up on Jose Francisco Torres. And the Union will restart. First and foremost, both players coming away safely. But an interesting attacking spell comes to an end, at least temporarily. These passes have been a little bit offline early on.
Yeah, you can maybe blame that for maybe the Tuesday game at home against San Jose. Was such a big game for Monterey and for their club. So you can just see maybe the first 10, 15 minutes are a little lackadaisical, but if they want to get the 3 points, they need to wake up a little bit and clean up those passes.
They got the benefit of playing Tuesday, not Wednesday, and also playing at home, but still, that's 90 minutes. And Toros did not have to play this week. That back line that's been at the heart of all of it, asked to make the play. Ricky Ruiz does get the clear.
You can see Monterey not being able to find those connections that they were finding earlier on in the season. Not being able to possess very well right now, so hopefully later on in the game they'll be able to find those pockets in between the midfield and defense instead of just going long every time.
Both teams have tested the long ball, and neither back line has been any type of willing to give. So even in the first matchup between these two, Monterey Bay was not exactly peppering the cage. 3 shots on goal for MBFC, as opposed to Toros' 10. But each team scored 1 at the end of it. That's kind of been the name of the game this year for the Union. Maximizing every chance. Brilliant through ball, but even better defense. Guy Green and company have had the answer each time.
And whenever I was playing as a forward, I was always telling my midfielders, if you're going to play me a straight ball, make sure my run is on an angle. You can't have a straight ball and a straight run because you're just not going to get on it. If you want to play an angle ball, then my run is straight. Just a little off there with Francois receiving that ball in behind.
Cabezas asking for an explanation. Here's another look. Just comes in and gets Alex Dixon. Way out to the wing, really heavy pass, but a fortunate misplay off the head. Retains it for the Union. Owner trying to make a run, and a foul on Robert Coronado.
You can see RGV really coming out pressing Monterey when they have the ball. There's a lot of RGV Toros surrounding the ball when it gets into that midfield, trying to force it out wide. And they're doing well to win that second ball and keep it for the team.
Not allowing this Union side to showcase their explosion as they have all year. Up ahead, here come MBFC. Left in, Dixon leaves it up front, shot on, and the first save of the day. MBFC left wanting, Tyler Derrick got just enough.
And if you're Monterey Bay, that's what you want to see. Gleedle to Dixon. Dixon holds the ball perfectly here, lays it off, and I think if he goes far post, it's a tap in for Valesky or a 1-0 goal for himself. So unfortunately, he didn't see that, but it's a good attack, building some confidence coming in from Monterey Bay.
So Union go to the corner. Grant Robinson will send it in. First corner today, high arc on that ball. Union want a foul, they're not gonna get it. Tried to find Kai Green.
Interesting corner there. Maybe they saw something during the week of back post, trying to get him on a one-on-one to head it back across, but interesting, very high corner.
RGV had way more corners than Monterey Bay in the first matchup between these two. Union had the first, left it wanting, trying to win back possession in the final third. Guido's got that skill set in him, an incredibly versatile player. Moved from left back to that 10 spot for Frank Yallop at MBFC, kind of underscoring wherever he is on the pitch, he can contribute.
Yeah, when I played with Guido in Reno for my 2 years, with roommates on the road the whole time, but no, he's one of those players that he can play any position, and when he plays that position, he's going to be dangerous. He's going to be an outside back, he's going to get you assists. He's going to be a number 10, he's going to get you goals and assists, and he's going to be working hard every single game, winning those balls back. So it's a huge pickup for Monterey, and I'm excited for him this season.
Currently the USL leader in assists with as many as he had last year, 3. Part of this gargantuan scoring effort for the host side, but so far, 0-0, 16 in.
I just don't know if I'd put him in goal with how short he is.
Yeah, all positions except one.
Yeah.
MBFC have that goaltender rotation they like between Carlos Herrera and Antoni Siaha. Still loose in the area and eventually cleaned up by Union. Ripondale tried to set up the give and go. Chant of appreciation from the Union faithful for their goaltender, Antoni Siaha. Down goes Francois on a foul.
Like I said earlier, these are what RGV wants, set plays, trying to get a cheap little goal here to get Monterey back on their heels and chase the game. So it's important for RGV to focus on these set pieces and try to get a goal.
Cristiano Francois, as veteran as anybody here in the USL Championship. For 160 appearances, few players have touched the ball more since 2017.
And like I said about Guido when I played with him in Reno, we played with Cristiano Francois in Reno, and he's one of those players that you want to get him the ball and have him running at defenders. He's very quick, very crafty, and he'll be able to create something for himself or for a teammate.
Hasn't scored yet. Question of when, not if. RGV elects to play it short. Now set up the ball in the box. Challenging play, nearly there on the doorstep for Coronado. The back line does the job.
And you can see RGV just wanting to drop their back line, get Monterey back, play it across, get their defenders on the wrong side. Almost worked out for them.
Looking to hit the turn. Green and Francois both go down. Advantage lost, there's the foul. Kai Green has been active early on in this match for MBFC. As has Jose Francisco Torres. The top chance creator for this Toros side looks to add another on a free kick.
And what's dangerous here is a quick run across the near post, little flick.
Torres sends it in, well played, and eventually a clear. Whistle coming from the backside to halt a quick advance. RGV not thrilled. Dangerous turnover at an inopportune time. Siaha's got to come out, and he made the play.
And that's a great read by Siaha. Being able to see that turnover and seeing the through ball, he was on that ball as soon as that pass was went through.
He talked about that after the win against San Jose. He said, I've been telling myself to come out more. That's something he's really worked on in the offseason. It paid off against the Quakes, and it pays off right now.
And you can see RGV not getting a lot of players forward, not giving Monterey much time on the ball, forcing them to kick it long, and then hopefully picking up the scraps just like that. But you can see Monterey Bay is just not in that gel, not clicking with each other. Hopefully in the next 5-10 minutes they can figure something out, change up the game plan.
First 20 minutes have certainly been stamped in red. Trying to play it long again. Alex Dixon and company. Unable to win back possession. Talk about the run of form early on for Monterey Bay. Toros had a tough start to last year as well, and then absolutely kicked it into gear to make the playoffs. Not something MBFC can claim in their young history just yet. Now they try and get going a little bit earlier. Played through, and just an errant pass. Chaotic run, and a foul eventually on Toros. Yoseki down on the pitch. Frank Yallop watching on. These guys trying for that first genuine successful build of the match. Monterey Bay looking to build from the back. That Toros press still in full gear, and it leads to a turnover. Another great chance for Toros, a little bit off the foot of Francois.
And you can see the confidence of Francois right now. He's just thinking about trying to get that goal, trying to see what he can do to do that. If he can just take his time there, pick up his head and get the assist, bring in some more confidence to be able to get that goal. But he's looking for it, and he's getting in the right spot, so you can't complain about that.
Understand that desire to press, get that first goal, put your team up. But RGV still holding the balance of chances. Oop. A little slippery there, but it remains with MBFC at least for now, and still attacking third throw. Nice move, bust in. Toros there every step of the way. Captain Hugh Roberts anchoring that back line for MBFC. That guy right there, the clears leader in the USL Championship. The knack for getting to the ball, sending it the other direction. For now, it's Siaha with the big boot.
You can see right now, RGV is the team that's more up for the game right now, collecting all the second balls, winning the balls in the air, and then collecting those second balls and keeping possession. Monterey Bay still a little sluggish and sleeping these first 22 minutes.
Those are the two guys who have touched the ball most. You saw in short order right there. Ritondale 20 and Francois 23 in red. Yallop trying to get his guys re-energized. Not what you wanted right there. Francois trying to do it by himself. Played up, looking for the cross. It's Torres. Torres holding. Coronado cross in. Torres up top, looking to shoot. Torres lets it fly, and it's over the top.
Again, it comes off the RGV pressure. Silly turnover. They do very well here, same as what Monterey Bay did. Good slip, good cross. Unfortunate for Torres. Cuts it back, can't stay over top of it and put it in the far post. But if you're looking at RGV, that's good confidence coming in. And unfortunate not to finish it, but they're getting their chances. And if one of them go in, Monterey Bay is going to have a rude awakening.
Clogging up the shooting lanes as well as they could, but Torres had a real chance. That's the first genuine scoring opportunity for either side. RGV still the aggressors. Possession belonging to Toros, about 55%. And those turnovers, particularly in the final third, been the biggest part of our opening chapter. Physical play from Union, that skips off of Benitez.
Right now you need somebody from Monterey just to step on the ball, keep it, play with your teammates, get the connections going, and just keep the ball for themselves. Right now they're just kicking, they're not finding that connection, they're just going long every time.
Shots overall very much in favor of Toros, 5-1. The only full-on save of the match belongs to Derek, a relatively easy one on a ground ball. Francois pushing again with Ritondale. Francois, laser beam that somehow came right to Siaha.
And that's what you want to see out of Francois, taking on defenders, being able to dribble at pace, and that's what he's done there. Unfortunate with the cross, but that's what you want to see, him building confidence more and more into this game.
A great opening 27, and they rip it away again. Francois playing left side. Patience here for RGV. Haven't seen a ton of this. Now looking to reignite the attack. Francois again, holding. Trying to bust it inside, now returns outside the box. Toros valuing this possession. Play up, Ritondale looking for the cross. Ritondale's cross is blocked. Wilmer Cabrera has to like the start his guys have had here in the 27 minutes we played.
Yeah, definitely. The first 25 minutes have definitely gone to RGV with their pressure, causing turnovers in the final third. Unfortunate not to finish these chances, and that's what they need to do. They need to finish these chances because you know Monterey Bay is going to have that one chance, and they're going to score on that counter. So you need to finish these chances early for RGV.
Just one shot on goal for RGV in their defeat at the hands of Memphis. So at a bare minimum for Toros fans, this energy, especially on the offensive end, has to feel good. But now it's a matter of converting them. That's been the Achilles heel early on for RGVFC. Valesky is the one playing up, setting his back line on. We haven't talked about Christian Valesky much, which perhaps in part explains why there hasn't been much offense to speak of. Now, MBFC trying to get rolling. Donor looking to cross. Sam Gleedle in the corner, keeps it alive. Two players down and play halts. Donor has been involved in a few of these already in the match. The highline collisions. Robert Coronado helped to his feet. (16 in red in his second stint with RGVFC. Visit to Oklahoma City in between.
Earlier in the season, Monterey is very dangerous on set plays coming in the first 2-3 games, so it'll be interesting.
See what Dixon does. Cross in, no chance. Follow up, and everybody on that MBFC side was already getting ready to go and play defense.
And you can see that connection's just not there. As the ball's in, Dixon, not the best ball you're gonna want. You gotta make it over the first guy for RGV. But as you can see, it's just a hopeful ball into the box where nobody's ready. Nobody looks like they're up for the game tonight for Monterey Bay. And if RGV keep pressing and keep turning it over, they're gonna get one, and Monterey Bay is gonna be in for another, like I said, rude awakening.
Toros haven't scored since that win against Detroit, 1-0. 3-0 at the hands of Memphis, 2-0 at the hands of a good defensive side in Pittsburgh. Conversely, MBFC have the most goals in the championship, but you wouldn't know it based on these 30 minutes.
And I did RGV's game against Pittsburgh, and this is a total different team. RGV is playing very well this game, and I'm excited for them to see what they can do to get that goal, to create that chance, and hopefully, like you said, the Achilles heel, score that goal.
Torres keeps it short. Flipped all the way out wide. And Toros will take their time. It's always interesting, too, the conclusions we try and draw, especially early on in a year. We're 7 matches into this championship slate, so it feels like you know everything about a team. We've seen it, but it's really not the case. A team in a month and a half from now can be completely different than it is right now.
Yeah, and you never want to say it. Injuries come into that.
Yep.
Just the style and confidence of players, of your forward scoring goals, his confidence, that your whole team builds off that. Unfortunately, right now for Monterey Bay, they're not getting into those chances. They're not creating those chances for Valesky or Dixon, who have been scoring their goals. So it's hard for Monterey to get that confidence and get comfortable on the ball.
Monterey Bay, a perfect example of the peaks and valleys. When it started for MBFC, they were out there losing 4-0 to Phoenix, basically, and then by the end of the year, they basically are going 600 minutes without conceding a goal. A tale of two halves for both sides. Right now, neither able to unlock that ceiling. A little over 10 to go until the halftime whistle. Francois feeding Ritondale, or at least trying to. Here's that counter, played through well. Valesky at the tip of the spear. Out, dumped, cleared. Wahab Akwe, the savior for RGVFC. Threat not done yet. In, and there is Tyler Derrick's ball.
And unfortunate, that's what we're talking about. The connection just isn't there. Valesky gets in. All he has to do is just slide Gledo into a nice spot, stop his run. He has a tap in, plays it a little too far for Gledo, and the only option Gledo has is to try to get it up and over the keeper to Valesky back. But that's the connection that's just not happening in this first 30 minutes for our Monterey Bay.
Valesky, with 2 assists on the year, has been the dynamic passer, but there, a little bit off. RGV thankful.
That's what we're talking about. Monterey Bay can score at will at any time. So RGV need to take that and finish their chances and get that goal that they've been wanting for so bad.
Nice ball in, just a little bit too heavy in the vicinity of Ricky Ruiz. Had Monterey Bay scored there, it would have felt very against the pace of play. That's what this team has done.
There's so much space in between lines for Monterey, for RGV to collect those balls, be able to. On the flip side, Monterey Bay is not finding that space in between the midfield and defense.
Ripped on, and a corner kick for RGVFC. a ton of these in round one. 8-2, corners favored the Toros. Pressure continuing to build. Do RGV find their breakthrough? Coach Cabrera getting his guys set. The veteran Torres sends it in. First touch belongs to Valesky. MBFC trying to set the counter. Toros, though, jolly on the spot. Ball in, heavy, defended. Owner and company do the job. Monterey Bay building from the back once again. Kai Green and Maury Donor. A little bit behind. Really the first miscommunication we've seen from RGVFC in the match.
And you can see when Donor gets the ball there, he doesn't have many options. He gets the ball, he looks up, there's nobody to play to, and that's one of the worst nightmares you can have as an outside back, because you got the sideline behind you,
Yep.
You got somebody running at you, you need options, and you need to be able to see it before you receive the ball.
Feels like that's been the case for the majority of these possessions for Monterey Bay. With that press on, there haven't been very many passing lanes, and when there have, that surge hasn't been there for the most part. That was a nice move by Kai Green.
And that's what you want from your center backs, being able to, under control, under pressure, be able to keep the ball. But you don't want to see a 40-yard ball into Valesky right there. He can keep it, play it, switch the ball around. Valesky's not going to be winning those big ball, 40-yard balls against two big center backs all night.
The balancing act for 90 minutes for MBFC. Such an explosive offense. But even with that, you've got to follow the process to get there. Vitondale, plenty of room to run. Just like that, Toros right back on the front foot. Feels like we've spent half the match in this final third for RGVFC.
Yeah, it looks like Monterey Bay is just a little sluggish, a little tired. Could be from the game on Tuesday, but RGV playing well this first 35 minutes.
Vitondale off the switch, trying to get Francois out and running. Attacking pressure maintained by Benitez and the Toros. Again, just a ton of room in there. Coronado busting inside, cleared, and Tony Siaha.
You see RGV finding those little holes in between defenders and the midfield lines. That's what's going to create those chances of those runs in behind.
Edge of the box, a little bit too heavy from Francois. Kai Green shaking his head, didn't like the opportunity there for RGVFC. The Union faithful trying to power their team on. Halftime looming. Does someone find a breakthrough before the big pause? Francois. Good move to the middle, back out. Francois awaits his moment. Interception belongs to MBFC. Still a bit chaotic. It does eventually head out. Toros retain. A rare misplay from that Monterey Bay back line. Possession statistic continuing to be about 60-40 in favor of RGVFC. Pushing pace once again. Good little give and go. Follow-up effort. Sitting and waiting. Gave Siaha time. Francois can't believe it. And Tony Siaha, incredibly active off his line and the consistent savior for the Union.
And if you're RGV, you need to learn to finish these chances. This has been your Achilles heel all year. I think it's the wrong pass. I think he should come out the left there, be able to play it into the left back who can cross it across the goal. But unfortunately, they picked the wrong pass and offsides. But if you're Monterey Bay, you need to wake up and get through this first half and get into halftime at 0-0.
Very different start than Coach Yalop wanted, emphasizing we need to score first, we need to be on the front foot. Still time, but that front foot has been left wanting. Extremely heavy ball, too much so. But the foul comes against RGV.
See here, RGV is first to react. Unfortunately, not the best foul in the world because your defender's facing their own goal.
Yeah.
But you can see the hustle. You can see RGV being the front foot. Monterey Bay is just reacting to everything. RGV is anticipating. So it's interesting. These next 5 minutes is huge for RGV to try to get this goal to go into halftime.
That's one Francois is going to want back, though. There was a set piece cooking on the backside of it. BFC and Valesky trying to go to work in their final third. Derek on it. Tyler Derrick has been active all year. Top 5 in saves here in the USL Championship. The face of the franchise. The all-time Toros leader in minutes, saves, and clean sheets. Very first signing of RGVFC 2.0. Francois existing in the bubble. Coronado running behind. They never got him the ball.
And that's where Coronado needs to tell Francois, hold the ball, hold the ball, hold the ball. He breaks through on the left. Cristiano can play him in behind, and it's a way better chance than what RGV just did there. Those are the moments that RGV need to capitalize on because, you know, like we said, Monterey Bay can score on any counter.
Couple of fouls in short order, advantage played, and bodies were flying. Whistle eventually is on Gabe Benitez. It's interesting though, because you can see the shape of it for RGV. It's there. These players on the same page, very, very well connected. It's a matter of a couple of touches, and if you're able to stretch that out over a few games, it's a very different club than they are right now.
Yeah, if they can figure out the final third, that last pass, that last critical chance to be able to score their goal, their record's going to look a lot different.
Yeah.
Their points per game is going to look a lot different. Their confidence is going to look a lot different. So if they can figure out the final third, it's a total different team. But as I said, the first 42 minutes, they've been playing great.
Yeah.
Unfortunate in the final third.
That's where this can be a tricky game.
That's the hardest part about this game, is scoring those goals.
No doubt about it. You only get a few of them if you're lucky. Set piece in here for MBFC, another high corner. They'll get a throw in deep in enemy territory.
Definitely something they must have seen during the week. But unfortunately, again, it's not working.
Jonathan Ricketts there for Toros. That is a man who has not liked the 45 minutes he's seen from his side.
Yeah, I think he's still trying to figure out what happened these 43 minutes. It's a total different team than what he was expecting to come out, I think. It's going to be an interesting halftime talk.
No doubt. Been a couple of flares toward goal, but expected goals is under 0.1 for Monterey Bay and under 0.2 for Toros. So between the two of them, we're expected to have about a third of a goal in this opening 45. You credit the defenses, and that just rushed. Francois has really been going 110% this entire first half.
Yeah, and you can see he really wants that goal. As a forward, you want to get that first goal of the year, get that confidence going. He's doing all the right things. It's just unfortunate not to get that on target right there.
Prolific scorer, had 11 for Miami FC a couple of years ago. Not too much in the way of stoppage. So we'll just go +1 here.
Again, on that goal kick, RGV is the only one winning the ball. There's not one Monterey Bay player around.
Francois playing it out to Ridondale, left end of the box, cross in. Brilliant defending, follow-up still necessary, and goes wide of the mark with Siaha on the pitch.
And that all starts from the goal kick. It's a 40-yard, 50-yard kick from there. RGV is the only one that picks it up. No Monterey Bay player around, and they're able to come down straight through Monterey Bay and get a chance on that. It's a huge set piece before halftime.
Grant Robinson, the one who threw his body in the way there for the Union. Kai Green shaken up. And with just 1 minute stoppage time, the final sentence in this opening chapter, quite fittingly, will be written in RGV red. Corner kick played to the heart. Siaha punches it away. Derek there to answer. He's way out. If MBFC would have gotten a touch, it would have been fascinating. And there is the halftime whistle. Defense dominant, the story of the first half. The Toros of RGVFC building towards a goal. Cristiano Francois, the most active player on the pitch. But when it's all said and done, we sit at 0-0. Both sides looking for the big breakthrough in half two. So Frank Yallop will try and go to work. The hat trick scorer will try and find his answer. RGVFC loving what they've done. Can they follow it up with a goal?
In 2007, a group of local business owners realized a dream by establishing First Capital Bank. We cultivate thriving communities by growing and sustaining businesses on the Central Coast. As we celebrate 15 years, our commitment to personalized service remains unwavering. And we continue to give back to our communities. Experience First Capital Bank.
Are you paying too much for your car insurance? Call Coast Auto Insurance to receive a free quote and see how much you could save. Coast works with over 50 different insurance companies to make sure you get the best rate for your car, motorcycle, home, or business. Coast is a local company with local people. We do vehicle registration, SR22, and insurance for Mexico. Call Coast Auto Insurance today for a free quote and see how much we can save you. Or go to coastautoinsurance.com, where your peace of mind is guaranteed.
Union faithful hoping their team has the answer in half number 2. Neither team getting all that close to scoring in the opening half. There have been plenty of goals, though, across the USL Championship, as we have tonight's half brought to us by Integris Wealth Management. Some of the action from across the championship. FC Tulsa and Sac Republic, a 1-1 draw between two of the great teams.
Yeah, and Sacramento is starting off the season great. And as your season's going great, you're going to score goals like that. Great goal, very lucky, but that's what you're going to get when you're on top of the table.
Find a way to make it happen. That's what our two teams are trying to do, and right there, just a sterling set piece.
Yeah, and another one that's, I guess it's going that way today for them. So two very funny goals, but good point up for both teams there.
And it winds up dead even, 1-1. We'll talk about some of the other scores as well as the news and notes. A lot of that physical action. No score between MBFC and RGV FC.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Coastal Roots Hospitality is a proud partner of the Monterey Bay Football Club. Coastal Roots Events and Catering, along with its 3 iconic restaurants, Monterey, Tarpey's, and Rio Grill, invite you to pick it up and pay it forward, where 10% of all proceeds from takeout orders are donated to various local charities. Their catering service and restaurants utilize local farms, butcheries, and ocean fresh sustainability-driven seafood to deliver unique and exemplary dining experiences. For more information, visit coastalrootshospitality.com.
0-0 between Monterey Bay and Rio Grande Valley FC. It has been a wild week here in the USL Championship. Things, they are a-changin'. The organization, which has been so stable and done a lot of growth, making a change all the way up at the top.
Yeah, it's interesting because in the last 8 years as USL president, Jake has stepped down, and you're just, last 8 years, you're like, whoa.
Huge change as the USL continues to grow. 8 teams making it to the round of 32, including Monterey Bay FC, who got the good fortune or bad, depending on how you want to think about it, of drawing quite possibly the best team in the MLS and LAFC. And of course, Lou City and Miami FC on ESPN2. Speaking of that growth for the USL Championship, plenty of matches on the ESPN family of networks. Charleston Battery and Colorado were in a rain delay. That's why that game is in the 75th minute. It was 2-0 Colorado. Charleston Battery, Ben Pearson and the boys trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, and a big point on the road for Las Vegas and San Antonio. It's hard to go to San Antonio and get those points, so huge point for Las Vegas there.
Indy 11 coming away with a late salvage point as well. Pittsburgh was in control of that one until Indy 11 equalized things. Always fun here, the early season results in the USL Championship. Here's a look at what's coming up on ESPN plus RGVFC taking on a very good New Mexico side, and we've talked about how good that Pittsburgh defense is. That's what awaits Monterey Bay coming up on Friday.
Yeah, and if Monterey doesn't figure it out in the second half, and play like they did like they had the first half, it's going to be very hard for them to score, especially against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds defense.
Some really interesting matchups as conference play begins in earnest. Both teams still very much in reach of 3 points. 0-0 with half 2 on the horizon.
In 2007, a group of local business owners realized a dream by establishing First Capital Bank. We cultivate thriving communities by growing and sustaining businesses on the Central Coast. Our commitment to personalized service remains unwavering, and we continue to give back to our communities. Experience First Capital Bank.
Coastal Roots Hospitality is a proud partner of the Monterey Bay Football Club. Coastal Roots Events and Catering, along with its 3 iconic restaurants, Monterey, Tarpe's, and Rio Grill, invite you to pick it up and pay it forward, where 10% of all proceeds from takeout orders are donated to various local charities. Their catering service and restaurants utilize local farms, butcheries, and ocean fresh sustainability-driven seafood to deliver unique and exemplary dining experiences. For more information, visit coastalrootshospitality.com.
Are you paying too much for your car insurance? Call Coast Auto Insurance to receive a free quote and see how much you could save. Coast works with over 50 different insurance companies to make sure you get the best rate for your car, motorcycle, home, or business. Coast is a local company with local people. We do vehicle registration, SR22, and insurance for Mexico. Call Coast Auto Insurance today for a free quote and see how much we can save you. Or go to coastautoinsurance.com, where your peace of mind is guaranteed.
Union fans watching on, hoping their team can get to 4-2-2 in a game that's been extremely physical. Happy to have you back here on ESPN Plus. Corey Brooks, Corey Herzog with you. And a kind of different game than I think we really thought coming in. The balance of all the really good plays belonging to RGVFC. They've created a couple of chances, just haven't been able to find those finishing touches.
Yeah, and as RGV's coming in, their Achilles heel scoring goals, so they need to find that in the second half. But here, Monterey Bay gets in a great spot. Unfortunate not to go back post to score that goal, and that's the story of the first half, just not finishing chances and not being on the same page.
That was far and away the best chance for the home side. Tyler Derrick makes the save easily, and from that point on, it's pretty much red shots. Not necessarily on goal, but shots.
Yeah, and if you're RGV coming away from that half, you're happy about everything except not scoring one of those chances that you've come into the game trying to score goals.
It's a great move by Torres. Flew it right over the top, though. One of the better chances that Toros have had. This was really interesting. Bolesky on the front foot. It's a 3-on-1 break, and just a little miscommunication in the box.
And yeah, that's where the connection comes. If he keeps dribbling, waiting for Dixon to come around, or play Sam a little closer instead of too far in behind, could be 1-0.
Taking a look at those standings, you mentioned Charleston Battery trying to make a comeback against Colorado, a team that was down in the doldrums, the oldest in the USL Championship, a resurgent start under Ben Pearson.
Yeah, Charleston started the season off very well. Unfortunate right now, down 2-1, but they can come back, get that point. And then another thing you're not expecting is Detroit City all the way down there.
Yeah.
Coming in, having a tough first couple games. So unfortunate for them to be sitting that low.
You see that goal differential as well for them, -4. It's been a challenge. Lou City, meanwhile, is as advertised. Speaking of Colorado, 16 points in the early going. Sac Republic pacing it, and an always good San Diego Loyal side rounding out the top 3 in the West.
Yeah, and Sac's one of my favorite teams that you're going to see this year. They're always going to be towards the top of the table, and everything that they're doing is just going right for them.
San Antonio 5th, and they probably have some upward mobility from there as well. These two teams trying to get right into the heart of that West conversation. Monterey Bay right at the doorstep. RGV hoping for deja vu from last year. Slow start, brilliant finish. In the cards for both of these two. 3 points still very much hanging in the balance. And normally at this point, the cliche broadcaster thing to do is ask you, what does each team want to change heading into half 2? But I think it's pretty clear what each team wants to have to do a little bit differently.
Yeah, if you watch that first half, you know what each team has to do. RGV needs to finish their chances, and Monterey Bay just need to wake up. You're not expecting that first half from Monterey Bay, so they need to, hopefully, in that halftime, somebody stepped up, said we need to step up. We need to forget about the win on Tuesday. We need to finish these 3 points and get these 3 points from our RGV team that's struggling scoring goals.
MBFC will begin with the ball at their feet here in half number 2. Christian Valesky has been playing as well as anybody in the championship. USL Player of the Week in 2 of the last 3. Hardly had more than a few touches in that opening half. Can they get number 10 the ball? Can 23 in red stem the tide? Find his first goal of the year. Underway, half 2 begins. Long ball right out of the gate, and sure enough, trying to find Valesky. Foul. That whistle is on Grant Robinson.
And I think coming into the second half, it's going to be the story of which number 23 on each team is going to step up for their team, Francois or Sam Gleadle. And it's going to be one of those players that's going to create that chance or score the goal to lead their team to victory.
Gleadle's first USL action in a couple of weeks, not playing against Indy. Francois, 2 shots against Memphis in 88 minutes played.
Pressure by Guido there. Now you're seeing a little bit Monterey getting up the field, getting the pressure going, hopefully turning over the ball.
Great throw in right to Valesky. Valesky sets up the give and go, move in the box, trying to find him. The sliding stop from Benitez, and MBFC already instigating set pieces.
And that's what you want to see, your forward, your outside mid, connecting, getting those balls from Valesky to Dixon, just getting that connection going early in this first half is a good response coming out.
Frank Diallo looking for a completely different second 45. Already a different corner kick. They played it way short instead of way long, but it had no chance. It was straight to Jonathan Ricketts. Siaha. Goalie to goalie connection here. Siaha functionally finding Derek. Right down the line. Last touch by Grant Robinson. Or was it? Torres arguing his piece. And possession belongs to MBFC. Need to push on a deep throw, and And now just moving down the field, ball in hand. Robinson couldn't contain it. A choppy first few minutes and a yellow card out. And it will be issued, our first booking of the day. MBFC, relatively physical in the first half, never had this. And now Grant Robinson, he just kind of throws that shoulder and it's enough.
A little bit of a soft yellow there. As a defender, you don't want to get those soft yellows early in the game. Changes the next 40 minutes, definitely.
Third booking of the season for Grant Robinson. Another one of those guys familiar with this RGV side, about 600 minutes played for Toros back in 2021. One of the goal scorers against Indy 11. Grant Robinson right now, a yellow card to show for his efforts. Surging through Torres and Francois. Patience for now, RGV. Going for it once again, Cabezas running forward, establishing position. Now Toros push it out wide to Ricketts. Ricketts, useful ball in, but there was nothing but crisp and kelp on the receiving end. What a run. What a run by Sam Galito, but had no reinforcements. Still MBFC possession. Whatever comes of this run of play is a direct result of a superhuman surge from Sam Galito. Right wing looking to cross, Valesky. Right into the waiting foot of Cabezas. The ball in, and just curving away from its intended target, Christian Valesky.
And this is good by Monterey Bay. Pin RGV in, keep the ball, make them chase and run. Because when you have the ball, that's your time to rest. RGV is working right now.
Spent a lot of time with the camera facing this end of the field in the first half. That continues here in half two. That's better news for Monterey Bay FC. Grant Robinson wants the switch, he'll get it. Roberts holding that back line. You're seeing a little more space off the press here from RGV, but still some aggressive man marking here in half two.
Yeah, they're not pressing as much as they were in the first half. Obviously, you can't do it the full 90 minutes, so maybe their game plan changed at halftime, but as you can see, Monterey Bay need to find those little holes in between the defenders, in between the midfield, get on the turn and play in behind.
Chase Boone was hoping to run it down. Was walled off all the way through by Gabriel Benitez. Benitez, an experienced player. 10 years pro in Venezuela. It's a consistent trend for Toros. A lot of returners, guys who have played soccer at this level and internationally. Experience, one of the key factors for Wilmer Cabrera. Avila had to do a lot to maintain possession.
See a lot from both teams. The passes just aren't there tonight. Unfortunate turnovers leading to hopefully chances later on in the game.
Too tall for Valesky. Christian wanted to throw it in quickly. The only issue was it was RGV's ball. Owner starting right wing, slams the brakes. Back to him. Mori looking for help. David Moby fair exchange, take their time. Trying to play Robinson through, but Ricketts had it played perfectly. BFC is their ball. Both sides frustrated on nearly every call, and it has very little to do with that moment in time. It's just how this match has gone. Valesky. Interesting play ahead. MBFC, Valesky, entrance to the box, shot, and it's off ahead. It was Juan David Cabezas who got his cabeza to the ball to keep this at 0-0. Roberts retreats, takes his time. Shaken up. Coronado's been on the pitch a few times in this match. And another booking, second of the day for MBFC. Grant Robinson got the first. Looked like that one was on Dixon.
Yeah, it looks like he just left his foot up there. 50-50 challenge, cleat up. It's a tough one.
So that's a couple of bookings on MBFC that neither's had a ton of contact, but they have both been in a fashion where the booking is certainly in the cards, and now two received by Union. A red was flashed in round one between these two. So far, 2 yellows, both here in half two. That got away from Hugh Roberts. Deep throw in here for Toros. Out wide, Ricketts looking for a teammate, and there's the captain, Roberts. Great run onto it, Torres. Looked for a switch, and instead, a counterattack here. Down goes Galito. Yellow card, the first of the day for the Toros.
Smart foul, because if Galito gets behind there, they're on the counter. So smart veteran foul right there from the captain.
So Cabezas, again, not a lot of contact, enough to get Galito down and disrupt that sudden surge for the Union. Roberts and Green send back to Siaha. Looking to play it long, nobody there but Cabezas. Frank Gallup back to his playing form, gets one dribble on the ball.
To be fair, probably the best touch by a Monterey player and coach today.
And another foul. We are seeing a lot of this. And Benitez still down on the pitch. You're seeing the frustration from half number one kind of boil over into physicality and perhaps a bit of reckless physicality for both sides.
And if you're Monterey Bay, you don't want to get frustrated with how bad you did play the first 45, 50 minutes. It's still 0-0. The 3 points are still there. You just need to get that one chance to finish and be able to finish that opportunity and be able to carry out for the next 30 minutes.
Coach trying to get his men going. Derek sends his guys away. He wants to play this thing long and look for the sudden spark plug. Eric did send it a mile. Roberts first to it.
Those are the second balls we were talking about in the first half. RGV's just winning every second ball.
Good for the tackle, slide through Torres. Wins it back. It's a team in RGV ordinarily plays a pretty clean contest. Third fewest fouls conceded in the USL Championship, and the fewest yellow cards coming in. They picked up one. It's just been that type of match thus far. And Monterey Bay will watch as a second yellow card is given to RGVFC. The team that hadn't picked up very many at all coming in, now 2 in short order.
Good little touch there by Dixon. You can see the frustration of not being able to get on the ball tonight, not being able to be himself. You can see the frustration coming out with tackles like that.
The youngster Ritondale tagged for his second as a pro. Now both teams even in bookings, even on the scoreboard. 2/3 of the way home in our Western Conference clash. More and more it feels like this is first to one. We'll get 3 points. Davila and Roberts, the collision.
Monterey Bay just not giving their players enough options. Once the player has the ball, he looks up, there's no options. Nobody's moving, nobody's trying to get into that open space. They need to try to find each other in those pockets. Be able to combine, get creativity, get the confidence up for these guys. Right now it's just hopeful balls kicked in behind.
Hope can be a good thing. If MBFC can do something with it, still theirs on the throw. Valesky looking to go fast. Robinson the switch.
What a ball.
Boone. Simply thrown off the ball, loose in the area, ever so briefly. Right back to Grant Robinson.
It's a great third man run from, there from Donnie. Just wasn't able to be found.
Francois almost the solo counterattack. Not as many shots here in half number 2 for Cristiano Francois. But if you're guessing at home, who might have the first goal in this game? Cristiano Francois would probably be your odds-on favorite. Right wing, Ricketts, ball in, no one there but Antoni Siaha. Scrum for it, that was a lot of spinning there from Torres. And continued consternation for both sides. And it does lead to a booking. Chase Boone receives a yellow.
Not sure Chase knew much about that. He's trying to turn on the ball, put his hand up the field where the defender is, and unfortunate, maybe hits him in the face.
Another glimpse at it right here. Boone does get on top. Ritondale goes down.
Yeah, he's not meaning any harmful there. It's just unfortunate. Being able to look for the defender, feel where he is. Unfortunately, just hits him in the face. It's a big game for Monterey Bay. They're one of those teams that are trying to get into the, obviously into the playoffs early in the year, but this is a good game for them. You're not always going to have your best A game, but can you win these games? Can you win these games that you're not playing your best? And that'll be a huge step if they can get 3 points here tonight.
Coach Yalom talked about it. He said even to this point, there was some matchups they've had that last year they would have found a way to draw or even lose. But this year, with this group coming together for a second time and that familiarity, they have managed to come away with wins. This is another one of those opportunities for MBFC. Meanwhile, win number 2 for Toros is right there to be had. If they can get one by Siaha. Just a scrum on the ball. We're headed the other way.
You see Guido makes a little mistake there, but works his way back, fights for the ball, wins a free kick for his team. Great work by Guido.
Knocked up. Avila trying to get going, the leading goal scorer, 2 on the year for RGV. We haven't said 8's name much today. A look at James Murphy. He will come on, leaving Yoseki. James Murphy's been on the injury report for the better part of a month. Now he'll come on and go to work. Monterey Bay's assist leader a year ago with 5, as well as their tackle leader, an important returning veteran for the Union, re-enters. Over 2,000 minutes played as a Toro, now goes against the team in red. Bay just looking to clear. Had a little something cooking. Hold on, Siaha. Entrance to the final third. Toros will take their time. Union get to stay in Seaside. They'll stay home and host their fellow cup setter in Pittsburgh on Friday. RGVFC gets back to the Lone Star State to take on New Mexico United. Neither team enter one of those matchups with 3 points. Ahead, Roberts there. Chance for Toros. Avila taking his time along with Ruiz. Bit of a misplay there for Akwe, a chance, but he won the race between him and Valesky. Feels like if we are to be afforded a goal tonight, it might come on a play very similar to that. Siaha coming off his line well again.
Yeah, you can see both teams getting a little frantic there. It could be a pass back that's not strong enough to be a goal. Could be a huge mistake. But if you're looking for goals, here's one of them that's coming on, Lopez.
Frank Lopez getting ready to enter, third-year player for RGVFC. and a goal scorer against Monterey Bay a year ago. They like him right at the top of their shape. Wilmer Cabrera going goal hunting, beautiful ball in, deflected out. Again, trying to find Cristiano Francois.
It's a good play from RGV, get it out wide, good low cross. Unfortunate for Francois to not get that on target.
Wilmer Andres Cabrera. And so here we do get our two subs. Wilmer Andres Cabrera coming on along with Frank Lopez. Cristiano Francois has expended a ton of energy in the match, so he will head off along with Jose Francisco Torres.
Unfortunate for Francois not to get his goal, but he did well. He's gotten in the right spots today. He's worked hard. He's done what he could. Unfortunately not to get the goal.
Toros faithful be happy to see Frank Lopez back out there for this side. Just 15 minutes played to this point. Over 100 appearances for this club. In a commemorative jersey. One of the faces of the franchise. What does Monterey Bay do on a set piece?
Trying to explain how's he supposed to jump up with his arms not up. I agree with him a little, but he did catch Chase or Boone in the face, and unfortunate 5 minutes ago Chase did get Boone did get a yellow for the exact same thing.
One of those matches. A lot of physical plays. Good play in, there it is! Oh, Mose. That is exactly what Monterey Bay's been looking for.
As a forward, you're happy seeing that offside flag go up with a chance like that. Great run, great play by Monterey Bay. Unfortunate for the offsides, but unfortunate too to hit the post if he was onside.
Finds woodwork. That's the chance, though, that MBFC's been searching. Now frustration from Sam Guido. That does get the fans re-energized, though. All the way out. Goal kick for Siaha. Andres Cabrera, the other sub here for RGVFC. Top 15 in the championship in shots. Incredibly active, didn't get the start tonight. Colombian on loan from Real Cartagena. An RGV Academy player. Now making good. The top side, Alex Dixon into the area. Dixon plays it to the middle. Where's the turn? Nowhere, nor a whistle. Union fans can't believe it.
I don't know how the ref hasn't called that. I think that's a clear penalty. Sam's brought it down, trying to turn towards the goal. Defender just comes straight through him. We'd like to see that on replay again, but in my opinion, I think that's a PK.
Here's another look at it. Great ball to feed Dixon, then chaos.
I still think it's a PK. I think that's a PK, and unfortunate for Monterey Bay. But you could also say, do they deserve it tonight with how they've been playing?
Sure.
But I think the ref's got to call that one and give Monterey that PK.
Perhaps a narrative-based decision. And Siaha will just kick that thing out. Monterey Bay wasn't quite back.
It's a great ball by Dixon into Sam's feet. Unfortunate Sam didn't get the touch that he wanted, but he did get his body in between the ball, and the defender obviously takes him out, and still don't know how. That's not a penalty.
Played in, but no touch in the area here for Toros. Good job by Wahab Akwe. He's been all over it for RGVFC. Monterey Bay hasn't gotten to the back line of Toros all that often. When they have, though, it's been 3 in red. Laid out to the wing, Lopez running through. They get it to Frank, not this time.
And you can see RGV does a really good build-up, but they don't have that forward that's making the run in behind. They're not creating that space in behind, getting Monterey's defenders facing towards their own goal. They need that to spread up and open up the midfield for them.
Will be fair. Pushing pace, now out wide. Into the area, good cross. Here's a corner kick for Union.
Unfortunate, didn't find Dixon in the middle there. When I was a player, when I was a forward, I always told my outside backs, the best cross that you can do when someone's trying to defend you is between the legs. They're gonna try to block it. Cut it back between the legs. You have Dixon sitting on top of the penalty spot. And if you're Monterey Bay, who else do you want on top of the penalty spot inside the 18?
Yep.
Dixon puts that away, and 1-0 Monterey Bay if we could find that cross.
Duilio Herrera will come on for RGVFC, the 18-year-old, the substitution here for Wilmer Cabrera. Herrera, 14 minutes played last year, and still managed to find the back of the net. Wilmer Cabrera calling him one of the top prospects in the championship. He'll conceivably get 15 minutes here as that thing is sent way back. Rebolar, the next sub for Union. Jace Boone stands relieved.
Boone had a decent game, didn't find the ball enough, didn't get to be able to take players on like he usually is. Unfortunate for Monterey Bay, just that connection wasn't there tonight. But still a solid game from Boone. Worked hard, did what he had to do. Hopefully his team can now reward with 3 points.
Rebolar had started 4 in a row coming in. Now, Frank Yallop hopes he's the spark off the bench. Played the full 90 against Indy. Players still transitioning to the game. Brand new to it last year under Frank Yallop. Still played over 1,700 minutes for MBFC. The final signing of CSU Monterey Bay.
That's a better ball. Lopez is in there. Needs to chip it over the defenders instead of trying to slip it through. Got to realize where the space is and how to get it to him.
Flipped up. MBFC settle. James Murphy stems the tide, looks for a switch. That's out, last touched by Cabrera. About 15 minutes left. RGVFC controlling possession, probably having more chances. Monterey Bay more quality chances with some odd man rushes and a near penalty. Oh, nice touch, but the follow-up not there just yet. Still reclaimed out wide. Donor looking for the cross in to the waiting foot. Sam Guido couldn't quite retain it. Back up top with Murphy. Cross in, wide open, but maybe trying to do too much. I don't know what else was there, but Alex Dixon tried for the goal of the week.
Yeah, and that comes with the confidence he's having right now, but unfortunately in these types of games, he just needs to put his foot over it or a header down low. Unfortunate to try the spectacular, and that's what happened there. Could be 1-0 Monterey Bay if he's gone a little inside of the foot over top of it. But you can't blame him for trying that after the season he's already having.
And it was a tough spot to be able to even get a routine shot. That's what Monterey Bay has done well. Taking what's there, hence that 36% conversion rate coming in.
But you're seeing Monterey Bay come into the game a little bit. Yeah, it's the 78th minute, but you can see now those connections are coming. Those switch. Oh, as I say that, commentators curse, but you can see them getting it a little bit more. It's never too late than never. So, unfortunately, they have 13 minutes, 12 minutes to be able to get this 3 points.
If they did it half an hour ago, or they do it right now, if they wind up on top, it's all the same. One or two pivotal touches will decide this match. Good clear, RGV throw near mid. We talk about taking what's there. MBFC and RGV had the exact same number of shots on target coming into this match, 24. The Union had 15 goals to the Toros 4, exemplifying their ability to maximize the chances. Tonight, neither team has, but if they find that one, that might just be one chance equals 3 points.
And for RGV, when you finally get that goal, it could lead to 3 points, which can lead to way more confidence going into games now.
For sure. Big stretch too, New Mexico United and Loyal on the 13th. Some challenging opponents. Nearly a perfect tackle forward, looking for the handball. Nothing to be had. RGV trying to feed a counter. Play on. Leski plays out wide. Ball in, across the face of Derek, sprint through Robinson. Robinson can't win the race. And sent Ricketts down as well.
It's just the decision-making from Monterey Bay players tonight. Unfortunate, you can keep driving at the defender. Make the defender make the decision for you. If he steps to you, that's when you lay it off, but you can't lay it off too early. And then the cross is way too early. He has to either cut it back or take it to the end line, give his players time to get in the box. And unfortunate, just making those wrong decisions. And you could see it tonight. It's frustrating for them.
Grant Robinson's got to be careful as well, playing with the yellow. Toros were looking for that second booking, didn't get it just yet. About 9 minutes left. Nine shots for the Toros, 3 for MBFC, each with 1 on goal. Hugh Roberts needed, little dangerous, but Siaha there for the big boot.
Great flick by Fileski.
Beautiful touch, feeding Alex Dixon. Dixon holding left wing. Dixon sends it in. Valesky had the first touch. Couldn't get enough, and Derek falls on it.
And that's just unlucky by Fileski. He knows what he wants to do, just didn't take that touch that he was supposed to. But that's what you want to see as Monterey Bay. Get those connections. Unfortunately for tonight, it's just not falling their way, but all they need is one chance.
A top 20 goal scorer all time in the championship has an opportunity right down Broadway, and it's left wanting. A bad beat for Monterey Bay FC.
You can see what he wanted to do there. Try to bring it down off the chest. Just lay it down, inside of the foot, finish. He's thinking he's already celebrating, but unfortunate, doesn't get the bounce that he wants, and that's just the way the ball has been going for Monterey Bay tonight. But you still got to believe there's still about 10 minutes left. All you need as a forward is that one chance again. One more chance, forget the other chance.
It's close to safe come. If he's able to settle that ball, it's nearly a guaranteed goal.
And I guarantee you right now, if he scores in the next 12 minutes, he won't even think of that chance.
He won't care one bit. They try and feed him. At the bare minimum, he's been much more active in this second half compared to the first, and that's certainly good news for the Union. Now, here's RGV trying to play it to the middle. Roberts needed to defend. The shot is wide from Lopez.
And another example of just in the final third, not choosing the right ball. I think he played that a little too early. Fortunately enough, he did get the shot off and could have maybe put it on target. But I think if he holds the ball a little bit, let Lopez come into the attack a little more, I think it might be a better chance for RGV there.
It's tough, too, for Frank, kind of shaking off some of the rust. Only 15 minutes played. That's his first shot this season.
Yeah, and that was a tough one. It was a bouncing ball in between two defenders. Unfortunate not to get it on target, but that's a tough finish for him there.
Toros see the 12-on-12 battle. This one favors Ricky Ruiz. Whoa, a whole lot of action now. Jonathan Ricketts clearly frustrated, as well as Ruiz, and it's Ruiz the guilty party. You'll get another look at this, and Monterey Bay is going to have a real argument for something a little bit more than a yellow. This has been a chippy game, no doubt. It's been a physical game, no doubt. But Ricky Ruiz lets it get away from him. Just delivers a full-on shove.
Fortunate not to get a yellow on the tackle that started that whole thing, because Dixon did the same tackle 5 minutes into the second half with keeping his cleat up and received a yellow.
Sure.
Could have easily got maybe a yellow there and then a yellow for the push.
Grant Robinson has been on the receiving end of a couple of plays that have resulted in yellows. He has been the adjutant. Now a chance for MBFC. Dixon out wide. Dixon ball in. Initial clear, but that's off the foot of Jonathan Ricketts. An opportunity late in the day for MBFC.
And that all started with good hold-up play for Valesky. 50-yard ball, battling defender, 85th minute. He's tired, wins it down. Now a corner for Monterey Bay.
A fresh James Murphy to the corner. Murphy sends it in, low-lying ball, and no one on the receiving end for the Crisp and Kelp. Teams starting to find some scoring potential. But neither squad over half an expected goal. Each of these two defenses have done the job. Ricketts wanted to set up the give and go. RGV will be patient, valuing this possession, hoping to make it perhaps the final meaningful one of the match. Instead, they give it away. Valesky and Dixon, but the pass too heavy. Had Sam Gleedle on a run. Avila. Played to the middle, no one there but Hugh Roberts.
Unfortunate there, just didn't see the run of Lopez, and that maybe because he's only played 15 minutes, not on the same page, but it's a good run in behind. Unfortunate, didn't see him.
You see Coach out there urging his guys to go and go quick. That was just a clinical diagnosis on the backside. Wahab again, a brilliant interception. Played up, left wing. RGV looking for something at the death. Donor has been just as good. Each of the number 3s in this contest. Phenomenal defensively.
88th minute, you know you're tired, but you're still battling. Wins that ball back for the team, wins the throw-in, and hopefully can get one more chance for his team heading up the field.
Corey Donor's been a grinder throughout his career. Started out playing semi-pro. That's work a 9-to-5 job, take a nap, and then drive 2 hours. Now he says he's the happiest he's been in his career. Reflected in his play here as of late for MBFC. Foul is on Frank Lopez. Right wing, chance to cross it in, off the woodwork. So close. You see right in the middle there, Alex Dixon wanting it right by the spot. Just unable to manifest.
Unfortunate there with the cross. It's a good idea, just needs to play it a little bit more in front of the defender for Valesky to have a tap in at the back post, or you have Gledo and Dixon at the top. Those are the times we're talking about with the final third.
Dixon sends it in again. Not a bad idea. Union asking questions. First time in the match, some sustained possession. Flag up and a foul. Free kick in an intriguing position for Monterey Bay. Four minutes. Plenty of time, one way or another, to break the deadlock and afford somebody 3 points. Will it be James Murphy and Union? Murphy, inside out ball, and no chance.
Set plays today haven't been on tack.
No.
Balls in. Balls have either been too long, too high, or too short. You need to get over that first defender to give your players a chance. Lay it up there for Hugh Roberts to get the head on.
RGV will get some fresh legs out there on the back line. 20-year-old defender Eric Kinsner into the match. Vicky Ruiz playing with that yellow, heads off. 12 appearances for Tucson and USL 1. On the U.S. national team, U15 through U17. Eric Kinsner trying to be the fountain of youth here down the stretch for RGVFC. Frank Yolov said if his guys scored first, they'd have a great chance to win. That is now all but a certainty. It's RGV, played well. Probably deserving of the 3 points. But this last 10 minutes or so has been all Monterey Bay, perhaps until now. Just nowhere to go for Frank Lopez, smothered all the way out. Good help on defense here for MBFC. Wilmer Cabrera locked in right now, the head man for Toros. First ever coach for this franchise, knows what it takes to play in the critical moments. World Cup experience for that guy. Interesting header played through. Wahab was there again, man. Rebolar might have had a chance, and you just see 3 in red enter stage right. Whistle brings a halt. This last 10 minutes has been completely contrary to the rest of the match. Monterey Bay showing their class.
Yeah, and you want them to get that final chance. You want them to finish it and walk away with this 3 points. This is a huge free kick for them. Get it over the first defender. Let your players have a chance to be able to get it on target.
James Murphy's been the instigator of all the set pieces since he entered. Murphy, good ball in. Valesky just wide of the mark. The man of the week had a chance in the critical area and just missed it.
And you can see the frustration. He has it. He's put a perfect ball in, Murphy. He needs to put that on target and get the 3 points for the team. But unfortunately, it's just not his week this week, not his game this game. And unfortunately, just not finishing the opportunity that he had just had.
Few players in as good a form as Valesky coming in. Right there. May have had the final chance of this match.
Just seems like one of those nights for Monterey Bay where it's just not clicking, not going in. One off the post. Valesky taking that off the touch, off the chest, not the greatest. And then a golden opportunity in the 94th minute to win it for his team. Unfortunate tonight not to get that, but you're forward, you have to forget. Yeah. You gotta forget and you try to get one more chance.
It was a 1-1 draw when these two met up the first time. A goal at the death from RGVFC. Forced it to 1 point each. Last chance will belong to Toros, pushing pace. Oh, big time from Kai Green. And that is your full time. Monterey Bay will keep their unbeaten streak alive. That goes to 6 in a row. And RGVFC showcases a brilliant 90 minutes. We finish at 0-0. Both teams with some opportunities. RGVFC early, Monterey Bay late. But nothing to show for it. Defense, the order of the day. We'll recap it in just a beat after the break, right here on ESPN+.
Coastal Roots Hospitality is a proud partner of the Monterey Bay Football Club. Coastal Roots Events and Catering, along with its 3 iconic restaurants, Montreo, Tarpe's, and Rio Grill, invite you to pick it up and pay it forward, where 10% of all proceeds from takeout orders are donated to various local charities. Their catering service and restaurants utilize local farms, butcheries, and ocean fresh sustainability-driven seafood to deliver unique and exemplary dining experiences. For more information, visit coastalrootshospitality.com.
Roberts talking to the folks who came out here. It's been a good energy this week for Monterey Bay. They remain unbeaten, the win over the Quakes, and now a 0-0 draw with RGV FC. As we reflect on that second half, the energy certainly picked up. We talked about how it was important for the Union to come out firing, and they largely did in half number 2. RGV, though, able to answer, and even going back to that first half, you started to see some of the potential.
Yeah, and the biggest difference of this game than other Monterey Bay games is the decision-making and the connection in the final third. Just wasn't there night to night, and you could see it in these little plays right here.
Beat offline there. Glito couldn't convert on the opportunity with Valesky at the tip of the spear. Fast forward, nearly in front, offside, wouldn't have mattered because it was off frame.
But unfortunately, like we were saying, it's just not their night. Little touches like that 2-3 games ago, go in, score goals. All of them were scoring, but tonight, unfortunate not to get one.
Into the 82nd, another chance. This was a great run by Alex Dixon, but a continuation of a trend.
And just like we said before, not his night, just taking a touch there. It's a great idea, great ball by Dixon. You know what he wants. He wants to bring that down, place it, side of the foot, celebrating 1-0, but unfortunate. Just frustrating night for Valesky.
You can see the adjustment from Coach Yallop. Get him more involved. They did that, and this one very nearly ended the match.
And if he can just put that cross a little more in front of the defender or cut it back, you have Glito and Dixon top of the box.
Huge opportunity, couldn't get it to a foot. And then, of course, the header that Valesky was unable to convert. So you take a look at the West standings. RGVFC trying to move their way up. Monterey Bay holding serve there right at the heart of the table.
Yeah, and it was a big game for Monterey Bay today to try to get those 3 points. Unfortunately, just pick up the one, move down a slot. But unfortunate, and they have Pittsburgh at home next week, so they're going to have to pick up their game a little bit if they expect to get 3 points.
Challenging teams, Pittsburgh and New Mexico United await these two. So 0-0 in a physical contest. Certainly hope you enjoyed it with us here on ESPN Plus. For our producer Bruno Santos and USL Zone Corey Herzog, I'm Corey Brooks. For our Corey Squared combination, good night. Final 0-0 MBFC and RGVFC. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.